You know what the most underrated piece of vinyl gear is? It's this guy right here. And this is that thing that you probably haven't thought about since you first bought your turntable. And I get it. This isn't the sexiest piece of gear out there. But the thing is, it might be killing your sound. So the other day I got this comment. I just got my first turntable. Do I really need to replace the felt mat it came with? It's a valid question, and I asked myself the exact same question a few years ago. And it set me off on one of my obsessive little quests to find the most perfect turntable mat in existence. Is that possible? Well, no. But I did find one recently that might have ended my search. So more on that in a few minutes. But first, let's break down what these little circles of joy actually do. They're not just built to be aesthetically pleasing, though some of them are, actually. They most definitely have a job which some perform better than others. And that's what we're going to talk about. A turntable mat has three main goals: providing a stable surface for your records, dampening vibrations, and protecting your precious vinyl. But here's where it gets interesting. Different materials do their job differently. Take felt, for example. Let's start with felt. You probably got felt with your first turntable. So the best way to put it is felt is like the stock tires on a new car. They'll get you where you're going, but change the conditions slightly and your mileage may vary. Things may get a little bit out of control. The problem? Static. So much static. And you know what static loves? It loves dust. And you know what dust loves? It loves making your records sound terrible. I mean, we already have to clean our records. Why make it harder on ourselves? Now, what about cork? Cork is interesting. It fights static, it dampens vibrations naturally, and it's friendly to the environment. It's a triple win. I avoided cork for the longest time. I don't know why. I don't really have a reason for it, and I recently did fall in love with it, and I'll talk about that too. What about rubber mats? They're the workhorse of the mat world. They have great grip, excellent dampening, but, and there's always a but, some people find rubber mats a little lifeless, and I will attest to that. I actually have experienced that with a rubber mat. It does seem to dampen the sound, and I suspect it's just because of the vibration control that's inherent with the rubber mat. So just a little bit too much vibration control, and your stylist loves vibrations. Not too much, because then it's going to ruin the sound, but too little, and it's going to muddy the sound. Now, if you're feeling fancy, leather, the luxury car of turntable mats. Leather mats are beautiful, they're practical, and I swear they sound great. I hate saying that a mat sounds great because it sounds really weird. I mean, they don't have any sonic qualities, but it does matter what they're made out of. It matters what sits between your record and your platter. How your record performs is really the key here. And vibrations, static is all or are all affected by your mat. If a mat interferes with the tracking of the stylus, either by, say, absorbing vibrations or adding to them, it will change the sound. It can make the sound too bright, and it can make the sound too dull. And then there's the new kid on the block, silicone. I talked about this one from Stack Audio in a recent video. That was all about external vibration control. So be sure to check that one out. An early favorite of mine was acrylic mats. I always recommended and loved acrylic mats. The thing with acrylic mats are they're stable, they hold the record well, but they're not forgiving. So if you have a record with a slight warp or a concave warp or really any kind of warp, it's really not going to sit well on acrylic. But I will say I am a big fan of acrylic platters. To be honest, if you have an acrylic platter, I probably wouldn't use a mat with it, but that's just me. But here's the thing, and I know some of you aren't going to like this. There is no perfect mat. It's like picking between headphones or speakers. What works for me or what I prefer might not be the same for you. Your choice depends on your setup, your music taste, and even your room temperature. Yeah, really, your room temperature. But if you're still using your stock felt mat, and you hear pops and clicks like you're pouring a bowl of Rice Krispies, well, it might be time for an upgrade. In a moment, I'm going to reveal my new favorite mat, But let me give you a recommendation. If you have a felt mat on your turntable, maybe go for something like cork. Cork is a serious upgrade, but if you even want to step it up a bit and get the best of both worlds, go for a cork rubber hybrid mat. This gives you the vibration control and gives you that natural, the natural feeling of cork. This one came with my Thorns TD160 Super when I got it a couple years ago. Every time I tried out a new mat over the past couple of years, I always found myself going back to my cork rubber mat. This thing's immortal. It really is the best of both worlds. And it always was my favorite until recently. You remember I mentioned leather a few minutes ago and I held up this mat. Well, this mat is a hybrid itself. It's leather on top, cork on the bottom. This leather and cork mat is made by Wooden Bull. They're handmade in Ireland and they're absolutely beautiful. I actually have two here. I have this one in black, and I also have one that's in retro tan. Absolutely gorgeous mats. And not only are they gorgeous, but they perform exceptionally well. So remember I said that the cork rubber mat was the best of both worlds? Well, I found this one an even better solution. To be honest, as soon as I put this on my turntable recently, it has not come off. I haven't gone back to the cork rubber mat that I always go back to and have gone back to over the last couple of years. I think this one is a keeper. And it's only the price of a couple records. So what mat are you using? I'd love to hear from you, and I'm sure other folks would love to hear from you too. Maybe you are using some of these mats and you love them for different reasons, or maybe you hate them for different reasons and see something else you'd like to try. So love to hear from you. Pop it down in the comments below. And really, that's about it. If you found this information helpful, please like and subscribe. I also have a newsletter that you can join. It's free to join. I'll put a description I'll put a description. I said that last time, my last video. I'll put a link to it in the description. So until next time, thank you for being here. Take care of yourself and enjoy your records. I'll see you soon. All right, I'm going to take a look. It's been, what, 20 days? Very interesting. Getting a little dry in there. I think we need to feed it.